Welcome to day one of the 30 days AI automation challenge. So, this is what we'll be doing every day for the next 30 days. We will cut down the entire course into bite sized content that you can digest every day. And hopefully, by the time we're done with the 30 days, you would have acquired enough skill to get you started in AI automation. So I'm not going to bore you with a lot of stories. We'll just jump right into the content for today. So you are stepping into the world of AI automation. We're living in a period of serious change in businesses where a lot of businesses are looking at, turning AI into a digital employee, for any jobs at all. And this is not limited to only the big companies, small shops, mid-sized offices, larger organizations, even solo founders. Everyone is trying to use AI tools to work faster and smarter. And this is an important information. You don't even need to be a programmer for you to create AI automation. You can do this without learning how to, write Python and all that. If you know how to do that, maybe it will help, but you don't necessarily need to be a programmer to create AI automation. So this is what we are going to be learning. Let's start with the anatomy of an automation. What do we even mean when we say automation? So I put up here, I said, think of it as if you are in a factory. And when you visit a typical factory, what happens there? It's like an assembly line, for example, of cars. Each station does one job, and together they produce a final result. So it starts from the first point, it gets to the second point, on to the third point, and at the end of the day, there is a result, there is an output. So most of this automation that we are talking about is built from six core parts, meaning you want to start something. When it starts, it should just keep going till the end, and then it gives you an output. So let's look at that flow. What happens when we talk about AI automation? I'll be sharing six parts. The first one is what I call the trigger. So let's just quickly run through: trigger, filter, formatter, intelligence, layout, action, output. It doesn't matter. It's not compulsory that it must follow this trend. This is me just trying to break it down for you to understand. So let's begin to look at each of the core parts of an AI automation. The first part is what I call the trigger. you know what will start the automation. So I say this is what starts the workflow, the initial event. So this starts everything. Think of it as a new form submission, a new email, or a new tweet or something. When something happens, then you want your automation to kickstart. It could even be a push of a button, it could be a chat, it could be a new mail, it could be anything. So something will start your automation. It could be time. Maybe you set it and say every 7 a.m., every 10 a.m., something should start. That's the trigger. So that's one of the core parts of an AI automation. The second part, again, in no particular order, we have what we call filter. This decides if the workflow should continue. For example, you are checking whether a lead meets a certain budget before moving forward, or you are checking if this, then something will happen. So you have that filter trying to decide if the workflow should continue or it should stop. Okay. Then you also have this formatter. You want to clean up your structure, your data type. You want to be sure you have the correct format. You want to remove unwanted line breaks and all that. So there is that job for a formatter there. Then you have the intelligence layer. This is the part where AI plays a prominent role there. This is where the AI thinks. It analyzes the text. It detects sentiments. It writes responses. It makes decision using the large language model. So people have been creating automation before AI, before we all now talk about AI here and there, people have been using Power Automate for years. People have been creating automation in Zapier. But what makes AI automation different is this intelligence layer, where you can now bring in OpenAI's ChatGPT, for example, or you're bringing in Gemini, you're bringing in Grok, you're bringing in, DeepSeek to play a prominent role in your automation. You want something to go inside that LLM and then think about it and then produce the next output that will form part of your workflow. So this is the important part, the intelligence layer. Then you also have the actions and output. Action, this is where things happen. You want to send a mail out, you want to update database, you want to create a tweet, you want to draft a message, you want to create a calendar, you want to post a content. So these are the things that happens in a typical automation workflow. So again, I said automation, something triggers a workflow and then things begin to happen, and at the end of the day you have an output. Maybe you are a in your company, somebody is responsible for picking up calls and then responding to those people. So this time around, you want to create an AI automation that when a call comes in, it should be answered by this particular tool, and then the tool should analyze the person's request and then respond. We're talking about AI automation. Okay, we have what we call AI workflows under that automation, and then AI agents. Okay, AI workflows and AI agents. AI workflows, this is just like a linear format. It is predictable. It runs in the same order every time. It is like you following a recipe. So the workflow is there. Triggers, it goes into these and to these, and then the end. It is predictable, reliable, deterministic. It also uses the LLM in there. But there is what we call AI agents too. We are going to be building the two before we complete this particular course, right? So the second one is the AI agent, which is different. It has what we call a brain. It decides what to do next. You give it a goal and it figures out the steps, the paths can change each time. So it does that. It's not just linear like the AI workflows that move from here to here to here. For AI agent, it has its own brain. It can decide because it has access to many tools. It can decide to use any of those tools in its arsenal to do the job. Let's further explain it. For an AI agent, I said it has a brain. So what's inside that brain? That's brain of an AI agent. So you have the instruction, which is like the system prompt that guides it on how to do the job. The memory is there, it's keeping track of your knowledge base while it's using it to figure out what will happen. And it has access to lot of tools and decide using the brain to now decide and say, oh, I'm going to be using this tool to do this job. While I'm doing that job, I'm following a particular instruction, and I'm also making reference to the knowledge base that I have. That is what makes AI workflow different from an AI agent. Again, we are going to be doing the two in the course of this training. Let's further explain it. AI workflow, like a recipe, you have all the ingredients, you have the book, you are following it step by step. But the AI agent, non-deterministic tasks, think of it like that's your Tesla autonomous vehicle. It's constantly scanning its environment, trying to determine whether to take left or right, whether to overtake the car or not. So it's thinking on its own, deciding the next line of action. I want to believe we know the difference between the two now. So what tool are we going to be using? What tool are we learning? I've gotten a lot of questions. People are saying, what do we need to download? What do we need to install? we are going to be using N8N, which is one of the most sought after AI automation tool today. There is Zapier, there is Make.com, but we are going to be using N8N. It's a visual builder, it brings your automation to life. You just drag and drop, and it adds hundreds of integrations. It can integrate it with Google Sheet, Google Drive, Telegram, Slack, different tools out there. We can integrate it to it. So that is what we are going to be using, N8N. And your assignment for today is just introduction, just to tell us what we are going to be doing. Your assignment for today is this: create your accountability document. Open a Google Doc or a Microsoft Word document or Notion or notes on your phone or your computer, anything at all that you're so much comfortable with. Or if you want to grab a book and a pen and just go the traditional way and write it down, that's cool too. Create your accountability document. This is where you're going to be writing everything you are doing, what you studied, the problem you faced, how you are able to resolve the problem, what you're thinking next. You want to write it down. It is very, very important. While you're also watching the videos too, you want to jot, you want to write things down. You need to make use of this, your accountability document. And the second thing is you need to download Docker for your OS. So you can go to google.com and just type Docker for Windows or Docker for Mac, the OS you are using. You need to download that Docker. I will run you through the installation. That's the next class, right? But just download it for today. And you can as well sign up for N8N Cloud. You can use N8N offline on your computer system. We will be doing that. And you can also sign up for N8N account. You will get 14 days trial version. But 14 days, you know what happens after 14 days? I know some of you will probably sign up using another email address, but we will run it offline too so that we can use that, longer. We can use it to learn. But when you're now deploying for people, then you can move it to the cloud. So go to N8N and sign up. I'll also put a link in the comments or in the description here where you can download Docker or where you can sign up for N8N. So our assignment continues. Write a short summary of your thoughts on AI automation. Don't rely solely on whatever I'll be teaching you, right? You can also go to AI, ChatGPT, Cloud, Gemini, and just say Meta, say, okay, explain AI automation to me like I'm a baby, like I'm 5, and then add it to whatever you're learning in this class. So write a short summary of your thoughts on AI and put it in the comments. This is important. I want us to really engage and help ourselves. So when you put it in the comment, make sure you also respond or engage with at least 2 other comments from other people too. So you want to engage with people. And if possible, you can also, put up your phone and record yourself and start telling people, oh, I started my AI automation journey today. This is what I did today. This will help you, this will help you going forward. So that's the assignment for today. Welcome to the first class. It is just introduction to AI automation, where we talk about creating your digital employee that can work 247 behind the scene. Something happens, it picks up the job and then follow specific rules. If you're dealing with AI workflow or it's an AI agent that you've given it a role and a task, and it continues to work on its own. This is where we'll end the class for today. Tomorrow we will look at the N8N interface. We will install N8N on our computer system. We'll sign up online and then I'll run you through the interface and we'll pick it up from there. See you tomorrow.